is Rosa Kelly. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new 1-hour crafting video. Today's project is going to be a really fun graduation folio. I am super excited to create this project. A lot of kids, of course, are graduating this time of year. For this folio, we're just going to be using 110-pound cardstock and some paper collection. So I have this paper collection that I picked up on Michael's. Now, I picked this up a couple years ago and it does say 2024. So we're not going to be using that page, but I think everything else is just so pretty. I love these graduation cups over here. And mainly, I think it's just a black and gold collection. So this is the one sheet that says 24, which it's okay. But yeah, so I don't know if Michael's comes up with these graduation papers every year, but I know I purchased this after and it was on sale, so I picked up a few. I would just not be using the 2024 page, but I am excited to start playing with this collection. So we are going to be using, like I said, only heavyweight cardstock. I will have a cutting guide available for you to purchase from my website, and let's get right to it. So I want this folio to be kind of like a yearbook. I want to make it large and with a lot of room for pictures. So we're gonna cut these at 10. I'm just gonna make this at 10 by 8. Okay, so that is going to be the main size of it, and then I am going to cut 2 pieces at 10, and these are going to be by 8.5. So I'm just gonna cut here again at 10, and so we're going to score these pieces along the 8.5, at 3/4, and at 1.5. And we're gonna do the same for both 3/4 and 1.5. And then we're going to fold along the score lines, fold along the score lines, and we are going to add one on each side of this 8 by 10 piece. Okay, so I'm just going to add my glue, and we're going to line this up to one side and press down. Okay, and then I'm going to open that up, and we're going to add the other one on the other side. So lots of glue here, and we're just going to line these up and place that right there, and then just press down. Okay, so press down and press down. Okay, so now we're gonna put this piece to the side, and so we are going to cut 2 pieces. These are going to be 7 3/4. Let's do this. Actually, let's do it this way. This is going to be 9 by 7 3/4. Okay, and again, we're gonna do 2 of these. So 9 by 7 3/4. And we're going to score along the 9 inches. We're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 1 inch. So 1/2 inch and 1 inch and 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And then we're going to fold along the score lines. Okay, so fold and fold along the score lines. And now we are going to open this up and I'm going to add one on the top here at the center. Okay, so we're just going to place one piece along the top, press down and open this up, and then we're going to add this piece along the bottom of the page, just like that, and press down. Okay, so press down right here. So now we're creating another level here, a separation on the center, just like that. Okay, so now we're gonna close and close and continue working here. So we are going to now cut a piece. This is going to be 8 inches by 8 1/4. Okay, and we are going to score at 1/2 inch along the 8 1/4 here, and we are just going to fold. Okay, now before I add this page, we are going to be creating a feature on this page here. So we're going to cut 2 pieces. Let me grab these 2 pieces here, and these are going to be 6 by 6. So let's cut this at 6 by 6. Okay, so we're gonna cut at 6 by 6, and then we're going to cut 4 pieces at 4, okay, by 8 1/2. So I'm gonna need 4 pieces, so let's do here 4 by 8 1/2, and then again, whoops, 4, okay, by 8 1/2. Now we are going to score the pieces that measure 4 by 8 1/2. We are going to score these along the 8 1/2. You're going to score at 1/2 inch, at 4 1/4, and at 8. And we are going to do the same for all of these. So 1/2 inch, 4 1/4, and 8. And again 1/2 inch, 4 1/4, 8. And one more time, 1/2 inch, 4 1/4, and 8. And we are going to fold along the score lines, and you want to make these into accordion folds with the 2 1/2 inch pieces facing out like that. And we're gonna do the same. Okay, so again like that. All these need to go facing out and facing out, and then another one. So we're gonna need 4 of those. Whoops. Here, here, and here. And then let's put those to the side. We are going to also need one more piece that is going to be 6 by 5 3/4. So put this at 6 by 5 3/4. Now we are going to start with the first 6 by 6 piece. Actually, okay, let's put this to the side here. Before I do that, I am going to cut one of my design papers, and this is going to be a background, so I think I'm just gonna use, oops, okay, actually this one is fine. Okay, so we are going to cut these at 7 3/4. So let's cut this. So your design paper, you're gonna cut at 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. And we are going to use one of the 6 by 6 pieces, and we're gonna place it right at the center. Okay, so place it at the center. And then you want to put a brads at the center of this page. So I'm gonna find the center. If you hear weird noise, it's my dog going a little crazy. She's having a challenge with a fly that's kind of teasing her. And so she's just chasing the fly. Okay, so here is where my X is going to be. Right at the center is where I'm going to put my brad. So I'm just going to poke a hole right there. And so we're going to add a brad. So I don't have like a neutral color brad, so I might just have to use some pink here. Okay, that's fine. Oh, actually I have these ones. Okay, let me use one of these, but these are a little bit bulky, so let's see. I have these big brads. They are a little bulky, but yeah, I'm just gonna use the pink because you won't see this anyway. So we're just gonna put the brad through, and we're going to close this here on the back. Okay, so we have first a spinning moving piece here for what I want. Now we are going to grab 2 of these 8.5 by 4-inch pieces. So I'm going to add my glue on the 1/2 inch, and I'm going to put one on the side center. Let's bring this up. Okay, so we're gonna put one here. Okay, open that out to the side, and then we're gonna do another one here on the other side. Okay, so we have 1 and 2 right there. Press down, and then we're going to add 2 more. Okay, so top and bottom now. So add my glue and just place that along the top. Okay, and then I'm gonna open it out. This is like a little spider page here. And now we're gonna place this one here. So when you're gluing this, is technically facing the inside, but you want this to open to the outside. Okay, now we are going to close 2 of these. So close those 2, and the piece that we cut, that is 6 by 5 3/4, we are gonna glue this here. So the 5 3/4, you want it side to side, so you can fold these on top. Okay, and so we're going to go ahead and add glue on the 1/2 inch over here, and on the 1/2 inch over here. And now we're gonna put this piece. So remember, the 5.5 side is going to go side to side, so we can fold this on top. So press down, and now on this top we are going to glue this 6 by 6 piece. And we're gonna place that. So this one you're gonna match to the one on the base. So it's one, it looks like one whole piece. And press and down. We're gonna let this dry here. Okay, so now we're gonna open this up and open this up. here, and this is going to be a spinning tower. Isn't that fun? I love making these spinning tower pieces. Now, to make sure that this is going to stay close, we are going to put magnets. So I'm going to bring this one down, and we are going to add magnets here. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 and 2. Okay, and I'm actually going to add magnets, on all 4 corners. Okay, so magnets here. And then I'm going to put these on top. So when it's on the open position here, we are going to add the magnets. Okay, make sure they're right on top of each other. And that way when you open your tower, whoops, is that it? Let's see here. Make sure they're not moving. Whoops. Oh, I think I moved all my magnets here. So, okay, well, we're gonna secure this with tape. So there are my magnets right here, and we're gonna secure either with tape or with glue. Let me find my tape. Oh, here, and we have a little bit left. Okay, so we're just going to add these right there. Okay, so tape here. Okay, and then my magnet stayed up here. So what I'm gonna do is I am just going to add glue here. Actually, I'm just gonna transfer these magnets back to this page. Yeah, okay. So when you add your magnets, even though we add glue, always add tape, because the magnets are stronger than the glue before it dries. Okay, so this one is gonna go here, and put that right there, and then there it is. This magnet, I'm gonna make sure it's on the right side. It's important here for the magnet. Okay, so there we go. So now when you open your tower, these are going to magnetize together, so they're not gonna be falling anymore, and it'll be really easy to just spin this around. Okay, so now for this piece, I'm going to be adding paper. Now, I also thought this actually looks like a graduation cup here, so we can turn this into just like a graduation cup by putting a little pom-pom, like a black pom-pom on the top, or whatever color graduation pom-pom the school is. But I'm going to cut another piece at 6 by 6 of the black cardstock, and I'm just gonna glue this on top. So I think I had, and I'm gonna have to look for this, but I think I had a pom-pom already made, so let me see. Okay, so I found this one from my bookmark, and I'm actually looking for like a gold or a yellow, but I think green will do for the purposes of showcasing this. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add a brand. Now this could be left for a picture if you don't want to do this graduation cup thingy winny, but you can just keep these at your paper and add a picture, and that'll be fine. But I want this to look like a graduation cup, and so I'm gonna use these. And again, I wish I had the colors of our school, but I'm just gonna use this one, and I'm gonna put the brad, and I'm just gonna tie this here Isn't that so cute? Now this looks like a graduation cup. And I can always switch that up because I just put it here from the top. But now I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape that is here. Take this out, and we are going to add glue. And let's place this. There we go. Isn't that so cute? Like for a school graduation or university. And then this could be, you know, and then you can spin it around and add your pictures here on the side. I love it. Now, because I want to cover the magnets on this page, I'm going to just add a piece of paper here. I think I'm just gonna use these. And this paper is so busy, so I apologize if it's giving you vertigo, but I don't like it as much in camera, so I'm gonna just go ahead and cut these. This is gonna be 5 3/4 by 5 1/2, and we're going to take out the tape, and we're going to add the glue here. Okay, and then we're just gonna put that piece here. Okay, so to cover and secure the magnets, you won't really see this. You can of course do a picture here, but this is just gonna be magnetized on top when you add your pictures. So that is gonna be all of these. So we're just gonna close these. Now you close the first level, close the second level. Okay, so now I was gonna put this piece here on the front opening page, but I am actually gonna put it now on the bottom. So we're gonna open and open because it is quite thick, and I want to make sure that our folio is going to close just fine. So I'm gonna place this along the top, and I will have this space, and so I'm gonna cover that up with piece of paper there, or you can always center it too, but I'm just gonna put it on the top. And we're gonna add these over here. Okay, oops. So yeah, I think it will be better here all the way at the end or on the back. So let me move this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that's gonna go here. Look how cute. I love that it spins like that. Okay, so I will add another piece of paper here. Now for this piece, I'm just gonna glue this one on this top section. So this is the one that we cut at 8 by 8 1/4, and I'm going to add my glue. Okay, and place this piece right over here and press down. Okay, so I'm just gonna open that up and press down because yeah, my folio is getting a little chunky already. So we're just gonna press down. Now I'm going to add my paper on the inside here. So let's pick 2 pieces, and I will probably use just this kind of like polka dot paper. So we are going to cut these at 7 3/4 7 3/4 by 7 1/2. So 7 3/4 by 7 1/2. Okay, and then we are just going to open this up and glue this on the inside. right here. So we're just gonna glue these two. Add glue. Okay, so we're just gonna place one right here, press down, and then we're gonna add this one. Okay, so just place this one right there and press down. So I'm going to cut one piece at 8.5 by 6 3/4, and so we're going to score along the 6 3/4. We're going to score at 1/2 inch, and along the 8.5 we're going to score at 4.25. And then we're just going to add double-sided tape on the 1/2 inch. So I'm just gonna add some of my tape here. And so we are going to press down. And then I'm going to fold this along the other score line. And so we are going to cut the corners here. And this will be a perfect place to add a 4x6 picture without cropping or anything. So we are going to bring back our folio, and we're going to open this page where we just added the paper, and I'm going to fold this in half. We're going to place it upside down, and then this little tip is going to touch this the bending line here, and we're going to place this at an angle just like this, and we're going to remove the tape on the top and close this page, and then we're going to open it and remove the tape for the other side and close this page. And there you go, you're gonna have your pop-up page here. So you can put 4x6, 4x6, and then we can put 4x6 in this side as well. So we're just gonna close that up, and then I think I'm just gonna go ahead and add 2 pieces, and these are going to be both 8.5 by 11. And I went ahead and scored this already, but I'm gonna score this again. So we're gonna score at, place it like this, at 4 3/4. Okay, actually let me do it this way. So we're gonna score at 1/2 inch, and we're going to score at 6 1/4. Okay, and you're gonna do 2 of these. So again, we're gonna score at 1/2 inch and at 6 1/4. And then I'm just gonna fold this here, and then fold the 1/2 inch in. Okay, so fold this way, and then this one is gonna go again in, and then we're going to bring back our page and open, or our folio, and then we're going to open this and this and add this piece here. So I'm gonna glue this on the left panel. So let's add the glue. Okay, so I'm just gonna add my glue here, and then we are going to place this right on this side and press down. Okay, and then press down, and for the other, we're gonna place it on this other panel here. So let's add the glue, and add the glue here. My glue is barely coming out. It's okay. Okay, so we're just gonna place these on this side, just like that. Okay, and press down, press down. So when you open this up, you're gonna have a double flap here, and same with the other side over here. So now I'm going to cut two pieces at 4 by 8. So I'm gonna cut this here at 8 and do this by 4, and we are going to score at 1/2 inch. Let's move this to the side. So along the 4 inches, I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, and again here at 1/2 inch, and then just fold and fold, and then we're going to bring back our book and open this up, open this. I'm gonna open this one all the way up, and I'm going to add these two pieces here. So let's add the glue. Just clean my glue so it's finally working again. So we are going to add one on each side. So I'm just gonna hold it because it's a little bit bulky here to press down, and let's do the same with this piece. Okay, and so I'm just gonna add that piece here and press down. So I like these smaller or slim sections because we can put those photo booth or like little Polaroid collages that the kids always have on their like graduation parties and stuff. So this opens up like that, and I'm just gonna, you can add a magnet here, but I'm just gonna let this one naturally close since we're gonna be adding this one on top. And the last thing I'm going to cut are going to be two pieces at 4 by 1 1/4. So I'm gonna do 1 1/4 here, and again 1 1/4. Okay, and we're going to score at 1 inch along the 4 inch side. Sorry. Okay, so let's move this out, and these are gonna be the closure for the book. So I'm gonna score at 1 inch along the 4 inch side. So fold and fold, and then let's add these pieces here. So I'm gonna add one maybe up here, and then another one right here. I want this to kind of look like a little notebook maybe. So let's add the glue, and I'm gonna place this one here. Okay, so I'm about 1 inch away from the edge, and same thing with this one. Place that right up there. Okay, and then whoops, hold it and press down, press down. Okay, and now we're gonna close these, and then these are going to go like that. So I'm going to add magnets over here. Okay, so let's add a magnet. Let's put that right there, and add some tape. Okay, so small tape here, and then I'm going to place this one. And when you close this folio, you want to make sure your sides are perpendicular, and press down. Okay, and then let's do the same on the other one. Okay, some glue, magnet, And then we're going to add tape and place that here. I'm gonna add some more glue, and now again close this up so it is perpendicular, and place down. Okay, so now I'm gonna open that up and just press on my tape. Press on my tape here, and there you go. That is gonna be the closure for the folio. So now let's go ahead and add our paper. So I am going to be using this design here, and we're going to cut this at 9 3/4. Okay, so 9 3/4, and then these are going to be let me double check what this is. Okay, so these are gonna be by 6 3/4. So 9 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then I'm gonna put, and so I'm going to glue this down. So let's just add the glue here, and I'm going to place this piece here. Okay, there we go. Making sure it's going straight, and that's gonna go right there. And then we're going to do the other one. Okay, so that's gonna go right here and press down. Okay, and then for the back I am going to use, I think I'm gonna use this chevron. Okay, and then the back is 8 by 10, so we're gonna cut these at 9 3/4, 9 3/4 by 8 by 7 3/4. Okay, and now we're just gonna glue this back here. I'm going to add the glue and place that on the back. There we go. And then I think for these two sections I'm going to use the gold cardstock here. So we are going to cut these at 1 inch. So let's see here if I can get these 1 inch going straight. Okay, and by 2 3/4. Okay, so that's that one, and right here, and then I'm going to just glue this down. And then I think for the center here it will be really pretty to just add a picture of the graduate, and I'm just gonna leave mine blank. Oh, and then you can add the year they're graduating, like 2026, and you just make it really fun. But this is the base. This is the base of that. Now, I don't recommend using the gold cardstock for the inside where you have the magnets, because the gold cardstock is kind of thick. So I'm just gonna use this piece here, and again cut this at 1 by 2 3/4. Okay, so I'm just gonna do 2 of those, and then remove the tape, and I'm going to place this down. And place this one right there. Okay, so we have that. Now here for the center again, I'm just gonna do a graduation theme, and that will be the main display for the folio. I know it's the same as the outside, but that's okay. There's not a lot of choices on this paper collection either. But yeah, so we're gonna cut these at 7 3/4 by 7 1/2, and I'm gonna open and open, and then just add that here. And again, this will be place to do a collage for a nice 4x6 picture. So I'm just gonna put that right there like this. Press down. And now let's do the sides. I mean, it's all up to whichever collection you are using. I do love this page. Unfortunately, it says 2024, but I think it's so fun. Like, I might go to Michael's and see if they have like a new version of this. Actually, it wouldn't matter to me because I don't have anybody graduating this year. I'm doing this for my daughter who graduated last year. So yeah, I might just have to add a lot of that with my, Cricut, or getting some stickers. Okay, so this this is 8 1/2 by 5 3/4. So we're gonna cut 2 pieces at 8 1/4. And again, I'm sorry about this paper. It kind of bothers me, but I know it's gonna look good, especially once you put a picture on top. You won't see a lot of the paper anyway, so it should be okay. So I'm cutting this at 8 1/4 by 5 1/2, and so we are going to put these on this side. Okay, I think I cut this a little bit too long, so let me double check. So 8 1/4 is here, 8 1/4. Okay, and I'm just gonna glue this piece here. Okay, place this down right there, and then we're going to add this piece here. Okay, and then I have, let's see here, we have these 2 panels. So for that, I am going to cut, let's see, maybe we can use the same graduation cup. And so we're going to do 2 pieces. Oh, here's 2. These are going to be 7 3/4 by 3 1/4. Right there. And I'm also going to use the gold, maybe for the background. And I'm gonna cut these at 7 1/2 by 7 3/4. And now we can do that section here. I love this gold because nothing's coming out, like the sparkles are not coming out of the page, which I really like. Right? Okay, just double checking that. But yeah, they're not. Normally when you're working with glitter paper, it just stays on your table forever. Okay, so I'm going to add the glue. It is thick though, so I don't recommend adding it if you have magnets. on that page. And also it's hard to glue on top because I already used it for a different project. So if you're gonna glue your pictures on this, you have to use double-sided tape instead of glue. But other than that, I think it's really pretty. Okay, so we're just gonna put these ones over here. Okay, like there. And add this piece right there. Okay, that's that. And see, now you see a little bit of the gold here, like a little peekaboo. And then I do want to finish that little section, so I am going to just use the same. Again, not a lot of choices on this book. Also, we could put some golds, but I think this one is fine. Okay, so 7 3/4, and I might just do this by like 2.5 inches, maybe. Should be good enough. So let's see here if that is perfect. Yeah, I think that is perfect. So I'm just gonna put that right there. Maybe I'm gonna make it even, yeah, I'm gonna make it 2 inches instead of 2.5. Okay, there we go. Put that piece here. Okay, I am gonna add more glue back here because this is coming out, and I'm going to add these. Okay, so that's gonna go right. Okay, so there we go. I love how this turned out. I hope you guys like this tutorial. I will finish this off camera and I'll come back and do a walkthrough for you guys. I know it looks a little plain right now, but I am excited to finally add some pictures that have been waiting long on my phone. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this 1 hour crafting. This is going to be the last 1 hour crafting for a little while. I'm going to be taking a little break, but I will still continue making tutorials for you. I just want to create different projects, so I'm going to be making more like a full-size project, maybe in different parts, and just taking a little break from the 1 hour crafting. I figured today, episode number 40, it's a good point to take a little break and create other types of projects. But I want to thank you so much for all your love, for all your support, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.